Hey, good morning and welcome to the freedailycoaching.com call. I am glad that y'all are here this morning. And I am glad that we are all together. Let's see, I think Bert Bledsoe is going to come over and join us, which is going to be great because I think he's going to finish up what he was talking about yesterday. So welcome to everybody this morning. Let me check and make sure that we can get Bert over here with us this morning. Let's see. All right, he said something a little weird's happening, so I'm sure that's no surprise to a lot of y'all that were here yesterday. So Bert's going to come over and wrap up what he was talking about yesterday, so this is going to be really exciting. But good morning, glad y'all are here. Welcome to the freedailycoaching.com call. This is Bert Bledsoe's call, something that he has been faithfully hosting for over a year now to give us a great community to come together, to learn from each other, to share ideas and mindset and tips in the home business industry. And as some of y'all know, yesterday was Tuesday, so it was Tech Tip Tuesday. Bert was deep into sharing some great tech tips with us yesterday, and then all of a sudden, zap, we lost the transmission. So here's Bert, and he's going to wrap up what he was talking about yesterday, and then I'm sure there's a ton of welcomes to do this morning. I know he loves doing that. So Bert,
good morning.
hi.
Can you hear me?
Good morning.
I can't believe it. I made it to the Wednesday webinar with you.
Woohoo! Yeah,
I finally made it over to this side. Normally, guys, I have for the last almost a month now, I've been able to take off on the free daily coaching on Wednesdays, and Mrs. Mupo here has been gracious enough to really put some powerhouse stuff together and really give you a power-packed Wednesday. And most of the time, even if I have something to say, she's going so good and she's going so hard that I can't even get a word in. I'm raising my hand. I'm like doing cartwheels. I'm not really doing cartwheels because I never mastered that, but I'm doing somersaults and pom-pom dances, and she's just going. So thank you so much for being so dedicated, Felicia. It really shows me how committed and how focused you are. I want to say I apologize. Sorry about yesterday. I literally I got kicked off, and every time I tried to get back on, I know Felicia was chatting and you guys were all chatting, but she was like, we're over here. But every time I tried to reconnect, YouTube was like, sorry, buddy, we're doing maintenance. Thank you for coming today, but we're doing some maintenance. So, and that's strange because usually they tell you first. So, guys, I'm not going to steal Felicia's morning. I'm just going to give you one thing. This is what I'm going to do. I'm going to go over into the Facebook group, and I'm going to add a file. And this file is going to help you. Now, I just want to clear up what I was talking about real quick on yesterday. The 20% rule I was talking about was not the 80-20 rule in marketing, because someone I talked to thought that that's what I was speaking of. In a Facebook ad, you can only have 20% of the image of the total graphic can have text in it. Okay, that's what the 20% rule is, except over in the right-hand column, right? That was what we talked about yesterday. So the thing that I wanted to give to you guys, or the other half of this that you guys are so patiently waited for, is I'm going to upload a file over into the Facebook group, and basically the file is like a slide, okay? And the slide is of a graph. So you can literally have that graph. It's just a transparent background, so you can lay that down on something like on a PowerPoint slide, and you can put your image over, right? You can put your image on it and then put that on top of it to see how many squares were taken up, right? And then that's a quick tool. So then when you're working on your images and your text, you could then shrink the text and move it around so that you only get 20%, which I think on the grid is like 4 boxes, guys and gals. So that's it. That's what you guys were waiting for. It's a really, the cool part about it, it's just a quick little sneaky trick. You have this little graph template. You just put your picture, right under, you put the graph right over your picture, and then that way you can move around all the text. Really, it's just a fun little thing. I know Felicia already knew about it, right?
Yeah, right? I've been using it. It's really helpful. So you don't have to submit and then they decline, and then you submit, and they decline. It's craziness.
Right. So having that little graph, that one little thing, think about. I want you to think about this, Felicia, because I know you know about this little graph thing. I want you to think about how that one simple little tiny graph tool, right, that was part of a big massive thing, let's say, right? Imagine it was just one little tiny piece of yarn, maybe the simplest piece of yarn in the whole entire ball. And do you see how powerful that graph is?
Oh,
And I don't
totally.
mean just, I'm not, when I'm asking you, Felicia, because I know everyone else here is understanding two different things, I'm talking directly to you. Do you understand how powerful that one string is now?
I do.
And it was so simple, right? It was like the simplest thing of the whole entire thing. So
We were left begging for it.
exactly. And I didn't mean to, guys. Yesterday that wasn't a ploy to get you to like want to come back. I promise. I literally was like trying. Felicia was messaging me like, "Where are you?" And I'm like, "I'm trying to get back on. I'm launching. I was trying to launch Hangout." So the point, guys, is that some of these really very simple tools can help you save a lot of time in your marketing, and in addition to that, when shared with others, can be massive. The things that we think that we take for granted, right? That we take like, oh, that's, that's it, that is the way it is. Those little tiny things sometimes we overlook to realize that 3 months ago, that wasn't every day for us. We didn't know that. So the person that's just getting started, that's going to be massive for them. It's not massive for us because we're used to it, right? As you accumulate knowledge, you just get used to it. You're just going day by day. So thank you so much for letting me pop back on here and share that this morning. Good morning to everyone, Karen and Rhonda and Bob and Patty and Mr. Bob, belated birthday, Clark. Happy birthday to you, Bob. We said it to you yesterday. Say it to you again today. You're getting old, buddy, but we still love you, okay? You're getting old, but we still love you. All right, Bob? I know. And I know Bob's getting old because last year he didn't even know how old he was. He went for a whole year thinking he was a different age than he actually was. So I'm just saying, old-timers coming to him, okay? Thank you, Felicia, for letting me over. Say hi to everyone for me because I can't see who's in the chat. And I will surely, I'm sure, see some of you today on the interweb. I got to go.
You drop it off? Okay. Bye, Bert. Have a good day.
Okay, have a great day. Thank you, Felicia. Have a good day.
All right, take care. Bye-bye. All right, that was super fun. Now, the funny part is those of y'all who are in the chat, you're probably so used to on Wednesdays when I post something in the chat and it looks like it's coming from Bert that it's actually coming from me. Well, that time it was really coming from Bert. That was really him over in the chat that was playing. So super fun. I hope y'all picked up on that tip from yesterday's rule. Again, this community is so powerful for sharing tips like that, sharing advice amongst each other. So I really, really look forward to every morning having the opportunity to come together with y'all. So thankful, unbelievably thankful that over a year ago that Bert Bledsoe had the vision to start this call. And I'm sure y'all are noticing in the chat that it continues to grow and grow and grow, reach new people, reach more people, and providing an excellent platform and resource for all those people. So big thank you to him. Big thank you to you. I'm so glad that y'all come here and you share because it's I love learning from y'all, and I hope that you get the same thing out of this community. Now, on to the topic for today. For those of y'all who don't know me, I'm Felicia Mupo. I'm here in Dallas, Texas. Bert so gracefully and graciously, I guess I should say, shares this platform with us of the freedailycoaching.com hangout to share different, maybe a different perspective or different tips and different tools that we're learning along our journey. Oftentimes, he has shared the Wednesday platform with me, and I come on. As you'll notice, Bert and I do have a different style, but the great part about that is we also bring a little bit different of a perspective, and hopefully add your perspective to it as well. Now, I am over in the chat. Y'all chat it up with me because I've got kind of a fun topic today. Don't know if y'all saw my post on my, I believe I just did it on my fan page. I don't think I got a chance to get it over onto my personal page about what the topic is today. And I can't remember exactly what it said. If somebody knows what it is, pop it over in the chat. But it asked something like, you know, how do pain, pleasure, stress, something like that. What do they all have in common? Now, also, I want to ask you and give you another hint in case that wasn't a big enough hint to know what the discussion topic is going to be today. I want to give you another hint. Of this term that we're going to talk about this morning, there is actually an ancient Greek definition for it. And I'll give you the definition. I pasted it up on my computer so I don't forget exactly what it is. It's the joy you feel striving towards your potential. So y'all pop over in the chat if you know what the topic is. I know we're a few minutes delayed, so I may be kind of giving it away before I see it come over in the chat. But if y'all know what the topic is today, I'd love to see some guesses over in the chat. This one I want also to have quite a bit of interaction. I know we've got about 20 minutes on the call today, so I'm going to try to be respectful of everybody's time. Also, a little bit of housekeeping as I do while we're waiting for this chat to catch up, and then hopefully you make your guesses of what the big topic of discussion is for today. One, we've got the big My Lead System Pro weekly call tonight. So for those of y'all who are in the community of MLSP, My Lead System Pro, every Wednesday night, you know, is the big industry-wide webinar, the longest-lasting industry-wide webinar in existence. It happens every Wednesday night, starts at 9 o'clock Eastern Time. I will send everybody over there to get registered if you haven't registered yet for that call. If somebody invited you to this call and you are not a part of the My Lead System Pro community, get back with that person. That person can give you a link where you can get registered for the call tonight. I believe it's going to be Brian Finale, which is one of the founders of My Lead System Pro, talking about how you can leverage events, live events, to really move your brand forward, to move your business forward, and how you can make the most of the investment, both time investment as well as money investment, and the opportunities that you have at these live events. Really having that discussion because there is the big Live the Dream convention coming up in 9 days, I think is when it starts. So we're really, really close now. 9 days away that we'll all be there. So you will have the opportunity to sit and chat and have conversation with Bert Bledsoe. I'll be there. I believe most of the people that you see in the chat, Nancy Beach is going to be there, Christina, Patty Anderson, Bob Clark. I know all of y'all are going to be there. Some of y'all I won't call out because I'm not sure. I'm not positive. But I think just about everybody in the chat is going to be at Live the Dream. I hope you're going to be there too. You're going to get so much out of it. All right, thanks, Nancy, for posting this. So joy, potential, pain, pleasure, all of these experiences. Let's see. Define what one thing that we all have to have. Can you guess what it is? So there's no guesses yet. Y'all keep going with that. But I'll go ahead and let you know what it is because I'm sure by the time the chat catches up, there will be some guesses in there. And what it is, it's happiness. So how happiness and how we define happiness in our lives has a huge impact on what it is that we do on a daily basis, how we run our business, what the actions are that we choose to take, and how we personally choose to stay happy. Now, going back there, good Bob, you'll be at Live the Dream as well. How we go back there in, the Greek definition of happiness, again, is the joy you feel in striving towards your potential. Yes, Rhonda, so I'm not sure if you guessed the happiness before or after I said it, but that's exactly what it is. Now, a lot of people tend to tie happiness with strictly pleasure. Now, by the definition, you can find happiness in things that are not necessarily pleasurable. things that sometimes are stressful, are painful, whether mentally painful and physically painful. Read an article the other day, and it was talking about happiness, and it talked about finding happiness in things that are painful, and it used the example even of physical pain, but still finding happiness. How many of y'all are runners? You know, if you're a marathon runner, I don't know about, maybe sprint runners experience this as well, but I know for sure marathon runners, they experience a ton of pain, physical pain, while they're in their activity. However, they're unbelievably happy. They're happy doing the activity. They're happy when the activity is completed. It also used the example of childbirth and babies. And Bob, you're on here, so I'm sure that you experience that happiness and that pleasure that people experience even during that time of stressfulness, during that time of maybe physical pain and anguish, but they are still happy. By that definition, happiness, you can't strip away meaning as well as personal growth to define your happiness. You will always be, if you're living in a state of happiness, if you're seeking happiness, you will also always be seeking meaning. You will also always be seeking growth, personal growth. So there's four main qualities that sustain happiness. One is optimism. So some of this I'm kind of going off of a cheat sheet because I want to get all of this stuff right for you. But one is optimism, which is believing that our behavior actually matters. And how this ties back into your business. Are you living in a life? Are you living in a business position of optimism? The things that you're doing, do you know? Have you convinced yourself, whether it's by the results that you've gotten, by believing in mentors, by believing in the process that you're going through and having faith in that process, looking forward to the people that have gone before you or looking up to those people and having faith, having confidence, having trust in those people, or and possibly even you've proved it for yourself. You've gone out there and you've pushed and you've done all of the things that you know are the right things to do in your business with that level of optimism, because now you can believe that what you do actually matters. So another one of the qualities to sustain happiness is social connection. That's why this community of My Lead System Pro, this community of the freedailycoaching.com call, and my opinion, is so valuable. Hopefully you are finding the same level of value out of it, because happiness requires a sense of social connection. Connection with other people that have the same passion, have the same drive, have the same optimism, and people that you can sow into on a personal level, people that are in return doing that with you, doing that for you, and providing you opportunities so that way you have a reason to grow, so that way you can in turn support other people. You can help other people grow. So far we've got the two of the main qualities that sustain happiness: optimism and social connection. Now the third one is the way that we perceive stress. Do we perceive stress as challenges? Challenges that can be overcome, challenges that we can tackle with optimism. Back again. Can we tackle those challenges? Do we? Are there things that are put out there to help us grow, or do we perceive stress? Excuse me. Do we perceive stress as a threat, as something that is, as something that is a barrier, something that's meant to take us down, something that causes an obstacle that is unsurmountable, unovercomable by us? In successful business, and I experience this, I'm sure you can connect, especially in home business, that level of stress and how we perceive it. If we perceive it as a challenge, so many people in the world of home business thrive on challenge. They absolutely thrive on stress. Now, maybe they don't intentionally put stress in their lives, but that is a challenge. That's something that they really, really like. Is that you? Now, I'm not talking about stresses and things that are totally going to take you out of your game, that are absolutely, immobilizing or really tough. But yes, stress equals motivation for Nancy, and that's exactly where I was getting to. Thank you, Nancy. But it's a challenge for you. It's something that's put out there that you know if it was given to you that you can overcome it. You would not have even noticed it if it wasn't something that you were equipped with the knowledge, the tools, the wherewithal to actually overcome it. Now, the fourth one is meaning. So the connection with our actions, with our values. We all live by a set of values. Each one of us has our own set of values that we build our goals around, we build our vision around, and all of that. So, are you finding meaning in the things that you're doing? That's going to give you happiness. Now, notice nowhere in that definition when it's the 4 qualities that sustain happiness: the optimism, the social connection, the way we perceive stress, and meaning in what it is that we're doing. Nowhere in there does it say an easy life. Nowhere in there does it say always pleasure. Nowhere in there does it say a lot of money. Nowhere in there does it say a lot of the things that are actually results of our happiness. Those are all that success, all that the things that we get to do that are pleasurable, the time that we get to spend with people, the money that we get to spend on things that we want, that's all the result. But that's the result. We have to be happy first. We have to be happy with what we're doing, because when we're happy with what we're doing, that is what's going to give us the results that we want. That's what's going to give us the time, and the valuable time that we want to spend with others. Not just time, but the valuable time. Now, happiness is truly linked to achieving our full potential. If we live in a place where everything is comfortable all the time, if we choose to try to live in a place where everything is so-called pleasurable or easy, we're not striving for our full potential. And in my opinion, if you're not striving for your full potential, you're probably also not going to find yourself be overly happy, because you're not challenged, you're not growing. Now, how this kind of ties into, I think I said also, I was going to talk about how this ties into the world of recruiting, because many of us are in home business, a lot of us are in network marketing, and what we do on a daily basis is reach out and talk to people, reach out and find ways that we can help people and sow into other people. When you're happy, what kind of recruiting are you doing? What kind of results are you getting in your recruiting if you're actually happy? Now, you can be displeased with some of the results that you've gotten lately. Maybe you're not making as much money as you want to make. Maybe you're not at the rank that you desire to be at. Maybe this, maybe that. But at your core, are you growing? Are you finding connections? Do you have meaning in what it is that you're doing? If so, then you're going to be a happy person. People are attracted to happy people. So can you sustain that happiness? Now, hang on a second. I want to go over and check some of the chat, because there's been some great comments in here. And for those of y'all who know me well, Bert is much more talented than I am when it comes to being able to read and talk at the same time. He's also way more talented than I am when it comes to typing and talking at the same time. So let me take a break here. Let me go over into chat. Y'all let me know while this is catching up, where have you found that you are your absolute happiest? Not necessarily or even most pleasure, but where have you found that you are the happiest? Yeah, so I saw this conversation between Christina and Nancy that, that stress creates, stress instills urgency. Now, do y'all find that when you are urgent due to stress, are you happy at that time? Or are you doing things out of a feeling of need or necessity? Are you growing? Are you recognizing that that's an opportunity to tackle new barriers and to grow? I'm not sure. I'm not sure what your comment means, Mark, but yeah, definitely. I am a woman. I will give you that. Let me know if that was meant to be a good thing or if that was meant to be a bad thing. Yeah, Mark. So when people are thanking you for for helping or inspiring them, that is that's a great place to be. I'm happy to see a lot of these comments coming in. Now, one of the things, I again in this article I was reading the other day, and it just happened to coincide with what I wanted to talk about, but I grabbed a piece of it. It says we must not confuse work, stress, and challenge as the opposite of happiness. So happiness requires that all of us. I'm sorry. Happiness requires all of those because those are necessary to achieve our full potential. Stress is necessary. Optimism is necessary. Connectivity with other people or the social connection is necessary. And finding meaning is all necessary to our happiness. And we're gonna. It's tied to pure joy. We're gonna find joy. We can find joy if we give ourselves the opportunity. We can find joy in life's ups and downs, in life's peaks and valleys. Even when things aren't going exactly as we planned, even when things are not giving us the exact results that we've been hoping for, we can certainly still find happiness there. So my thing for you today is, I hope that in what it is that you're doing, you're finding happiness. You're finding personal growth, that you are taking that forward in your business processes. You're taking that forward in your recruiting efforts. People can feel that. People can feel when you're happy. People can feel that when you've got a passion for what it is that you're doing, not a passion for recruiting them, not a passion for selling them, but a passion for growing with someone, growing in connection with someone. So I hope that was helpful for you this morning. I know I crossed over a little bit into mindset. This call probably could have been on a Mindset Monday call, but we're not Monday. We're not Monday anymore. We're Wednesday. So on Words Wednesday, take these words away. Remember that that happiness is where it is pure joy. Find that happiness there. Find the business growth. Find the personal growth for yourself. Now, I want to remind you that I am going to send everyone over to get registered, and I'll have to type and try to talk at the same time. But I'm going to go ahead and type this in. Y'all go ahead and pop over into chat. I see a lot of activity going on over there, so let me give it a chance to catch up while I hopefully put this in here for you for a sec. Y'all let me know also, was that message meaningful for you? How did it connect with you this morning? All right. Sorry about that, guys. I am finally back. Guys, thanks for sharing. I really appreciate all the chat that's going on. Today. I really, really appreciate y'all being here and sharing with each other. This is what makes this community so unbelievably fabulous. Be sure that you're inviting your friends to and your colleagues to come join with us, because this is what makes this business so great. The fact that we can pour into other people, the fact that we're sharing our personal thoughts, the fact that that we're pulling together all these different perspectives. So I value that y'all have chosen to spend some time with me this morning. I also want to value your time and make sure that you have the opportunity to get on to the other things that that you've got going on this morning. It is 10 o'clock straight up, which means by the time you're seeing this, it's a couple of minutes past. Some of y'all are going to hop over to the My Lead System Pro morning wake-up call. Definitely do that. I don't know who's talking this morning, but it's always fabulous. So jump onto that. Who knows? Maybe it's going to tie nicely into this one. I'm going to redirect you also to get registered for the My Lead System Pro hangout this evening, the industry-wide webinar to show you or to give you some tips on how to really leverage My Leads or the Live the Dream event next week. I look forward to seeing y'all all there. Have a great day, and I will see y'all over in the chat side tomorrow. Take care. Bye-bye.